All right, I think we're good to go. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I am super excited about this call. I know when it comes to like social media and branding, this is something that's been on my bucket list for years and just kind of been putting it off. Didn't really feel like I had the know-how and where to start. And so I'm super excited about this call and just kind of, we have a professional here with us. I want you guys to meet Amy Edge. And she's been a professional in the field since March of 2015. And we're just excited to have her. She's out of Virginia Beach. I know some of you guys are kind of local to her. And she just has a lot of information for us to share with us. And I'm just going to turn the time over to Amy.
Okay, great. I have a presentation I'm going to show you guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. Just give me a minute. So what are you guys seeing right now? The blue screen? Perfect. Okay. I have two computers up, so I just want to make sure you guys are seeing the right ones. So I just want to thank you guys, Alicia and Carly, for inviting me to do this. Super excited, maybe a tad bit nervous, and a tad bit too much coffee today. So hopefully I'm not talking too loud or too fast, but I just want to kind of jump right in. There is a chat window, so if you have questions during the presentation, feel free to put them in the chat option. I get a Google form with a lot of questions, so I'm going to try and add those towards in the presentation, and I also have some at the end that I'm going to go ahead and cover for you guys. Oops. Okay, are you guys ready? All right, so this training is for you if you have no personal branding, you don't get the concept of branding, or you just aren't sure how to make it work for you, or if you want a visual brand to stand out so that you don't fall into the sea of sameness. So you don't want to be this echoing or doing everything that somebody else is doing. You want to be authentic. So what you're going to learn today during this next hour is I'm going to show you how to evaluate your social media so you can see where you are now so that you can grow your business, how to implement a brand strategy, and also some tweaks to make to your social media so that you can stand out. I'm just going to cover a few tweaks towards the end, but I do have a document that I'm going to send to everyone tomorrow. It's 32 tweaks to make to your social media this week. So anyone that have your email address, you can add it in the chat if you didn't put it in the Google document. Either way, you'll get it tomorrow. So who am I? I know that Alicia kind of covered a little bit of information about me. I'm just going to tell you a little bit more. My name is Amy Edge. I am a CEO of multiple business management companies and a super coffee dependent mom of four. I've been doing this for quite a long time. I started branching out by myself in 2014. And really my mission as a virtual business manager is to help you remove the stress of running your business and streamline your to-do list so that you can really spend more time building your business online, focusing on the things you love, and being there with your babies and your children. My sweet spots include social media management, strategy, ad campaigns, project management, email marketing, and website design. So I haven't done this forever. It's not what I went to school with for. I was in early childhood education, but I wanted to stay home and find out, something else I can do, and so that's how I got led to this part, to be a virtual business manager. So we're going to evaluate your social media. The first place to kind of create a new social media strategy and to incorporate your brand is to really find out where are you currently at, and making sure that your future strategy is going to line up with your branding, your mission, your message, the values that you are going to portray as a business owner, and really to use social media as like the biggest marketing tool that you have available. it's really going to help you stand out. And the only way you're going to stand out is through your brand, the brand that you've been creating. So these are just a few questions that I want you to evaluate and think about yourself, so that you can think about your current social media strategy. I did send a workbook out earlier today with some additional questions to just kind of evaluate, think, write them out. They're just simple questions to really start building a new strategy for yourself. And these are simple. You'd want to do like a further in-depth evaluation to really develop a strategy. But this is a good starting point for you. So I know that you guys have discussed branding over the last week, but I really want you guys to understand what branding is in its very basic and simplest form before you move further. Branding is going to be everything that you put out in the world, out into social media, out at your home parties, out in your Facebook group. It's everything that you're putting out there in regards to who you are, your values, and what you want to represent. It covers everything that you have to offer your clients, your customers, your followers, and it's really going to help you build recognition, build loyalty, and trust. So why is attractive visual marketing so important? A lot of that has to do with your brand. So you're not just making these branding boards just to have fun and to figure out what colors you like and what fonts. That's just maybe one itty-bitty part of what visual marketing is. So a little bit about why this is important, what the studies are currently saying. HubSpot published an article that covered all of the stats, but I'm not going to go into all of the nitty-gritty. I want to really cover the importance of why visual design is important. So what HubSpot confirmed was that any content with the relevant images get 94% more views than anything else. The more you have a visual that is representative of your brand, you're going to get more engagement, more interaction. So this means when I say relevant, you're not sharing like a pop sugar fitness image on your business like page, because that's not relevant to what you're doing. So that doesn't count. You really have to hone in, use the branding, use your mission, use your value, and create content that's relevant. The visual content not only just gets 94% more views, it is 4 times more likely to get shared. And you want people to share your content. That is so important so that you can gain more visibility and reach more people. And researchers have found at HubSpot that anything with color versus black and white or just white or anything monotone, colored visuals, pink, yellows, reds, increases a person's willingness to read the content. So this is where the stop-worthy scrolls are going to come in, because you want to create an image that makes somebody say, whoa, what's that about? I want to know what that content says. I want to know what Carly has to say. What is this? And the only way you're going to build engagement, create sales, or anything like that is if people are actually reading and want to know more about you. And your visual brand visually tells your audience what you're all about and how to perceive you. So it's essential to stand out. So you can use your brand board as the foundation block to create those scroll-worthy images. Use editing apps or platforms like Canva, PicMonkey. If you like working on your phone, there's WordSwag, there's Photify, a lot of different apps that are going to help you create something that's on brand and is going to visually appeal to your audience. And that's really just taking all of the fonts, all of the colors, and representing your brand throughout that. So that doesn't mean just take today's what is it, April 24th. Today you're going to use Arial and you're going to use Comic Sans and you're going to make a graphic. So if that's the font that you're going to use, you need to use it in May. You need to use it in June. You have to be consistent. You can't just keep changing what your brand is because no one's going to recognize you. And you don't want it to be insanely busy. You want the font to pair up. A script and a basic font is what you're going to want. And the same color scheme. Pick 2 to 3 colors. Maybe a couple secondary colors, but it doesn't have to always incorporate everything. You want the goal of your visual marketing strategy for someone to see your image and know that it's you. You don't want them to think it's Joe Schmo down the block. You want them to know, hey, Kimberly did that graphic. I love that graphic. They're going to scroll on Instagram. They're going to know exactly who made that graphic and what you stand for. So that's very important reason why visual marketing is going to up-level your social media. So Amelia said it best. Preparation is 2/3 of any venture. And that is like how I built a business. That's how you're going to build a business. You don't just say, tomorrow I'm going to sell cookies, and you have no business plan. You don't even have flour in your pantry. How are you going to sell cookies tomorrow? You have to be prepared. You have to make a strategy. You have to make a plan. And so now I'm going to tell you exactly how to brand your social media and how to be prepared for your business to explode. So how to brand your strategy. 7 steps. I'm going to go into a lot of detail, but not all of the meat and potatoes. So if you have a specific question, just let me know, and I'll try to kind of be a little bit more concise when I answer it. So how to brand your social media. Your first step is going to be your brand voice. It's who you are. It's how you talk, and it's how your audience talks. So by figuring out really who you are and your voice and your writing style, you are going to be connecting with your audience. You are going to, use the same type of words, the same type of phrases, write in a conversational tone that's going to reach your audience, and use that as the foundation to build upon the message and the goal that you're trying to reach. And your brand voice can be anything. It can be traditional, sassy, witty, flirty, really whoever you are. It has to be authentic. And emulating somebody else's brand voice or copying somebody else's content because you think it's funny, it's not you, and it's not your style, and it's going to seem forced. And you know what? People are going to notice, and they're going to end up saying unfollow or unlike because they know it's not you, and it just feels awful. So really developing that brand voice. So, and think of it like this. Your brand voice should be consistent to how you would talk to your friends on a daily basis, on text, on Facebook Messenger. That is basically your brand voice. You just need to put it into practice on your Facebook page or your social media page. So just for a general example, if you're from the South, which I am, so a lot of the times I'm going to say y'all. I'm going to open a conversation with, hey y'all, or whatever it is. I use y'all a lot, or hey. So when I write an email newsletter, I might start my conversation like that. But if you're from the North, you should not be saying y'all, because that's not who you are. So that's just a small example. I'm sure there's lots of other ones, like soda and pop. Like it might not seem like a difference, but to your readers and your audience and the people that know you, it's going to make a difference. Well, I never clicked that on there. Here we go. So let me just go back for 1 second. One of the questions in the Google document, Amanda asked, customers want you to be real, but how real do they really want you to be? And I think that's often a struggle because you want to share yourself, but you don't want to share too much because it makes you kind of feel naked if you share everything. But my answer to you is you should be you no matter what. If you're going to be real all the way. Don't fake it. Stay true to who you are. Post a picture of what your life is really like. Not everything has to be styled or staged. You're having a bad day, share it. You're on your third cup of microwave coffee, like I was today, you should share it. It makes you relatable. It makes people confide in you. It makes them say, hey, that was me yesterday. My toddler's going crazy over here. It's really going to engage your followers, and it's because they really get it. They get it too. And just remember that facts and photos, they might tell, but your stories are going to sell. They're going to provide the impact that you're looking for and create the buzz. And that's really how you're going to start working your way to building a following that is going to be true to you. So, finding your aim. This really comes down to the reason why you're going to use social media. What is the purpose of your online presence? You know, are you just on Facebook because you feel like you should be on Facebook? Are you just on Instagram because you like it? You really have to kind of look at what the purpose behind each platform is going to be. What platforms do you want to appear when someone's searching your name on Google? What exactly do you want them to see? So those are all questions that you really have to kind of evaluate for yourself because it's going to be different across the board. Lauren asked the other day, should I focus on one platform at a time or choose two platforms, or what should I focus on? What are the best platforms for building? And as important as social media is to build your visibility, to gain your following, to generate sales, you should only focus your efforts on the platforms where your ideal audience is. And everyone's ideal audience is going to be different. It's really going to be determined on who you're trying to sell to, who you're trying to impact. So for example, if you're looking to connect with 30 to 40-year-old women who might be moms, stay-at-home moms, work-at-home moms, whatever it is, and they want to stay stylish and comfortable, your audience is going to be found mainly on Facebook and on Instagram. Those are the two places you should focus. And you really should only focus on 2 to 3 platforms at a time. I would not move to another platform until you really kind of conquered the first one, unless you have some type of support that's really going to help you kind of integrate a strategy moving forward. And if you have a website, your number one focus should be Pinterest. Hands down, no questions asked, is the number one referrer of websites across all platforms. And I mean, I am an avid Pinterester, if that's even a word, but I do Pinterest all the time. But each platform serves a different purpose, and you've really got to figure out what your aim is, what your objectives are, and focus on those platforms only. Don't waste your time on a platform that's probably not going to generate sales because it's not where your ideal client is or ideal customer. Keep the same name. Oh, this is so important. When somebody's Googling you or they want to find you or they found you on Facebook and now they want to follow you on Instagram, they're not going to know who you are. If you keep changing your name, there's no way for someone to figure out who you are. So it kind of acts as like the best tool to get yourself found across all the platforms, unless they somehow found like a directory of social media and they got all of your information. So it really helps if all of your profiles match up. Keeping the same name. I know this is difficult because a lot of names have been taken. I understand that. But if for example, if your website has a specific name, I would suggest sticking with that name and using it across all of your social media. There's different ways that you can kind of create it so it's similar but a little bit different. Maybe you need to add a dot, maybe a hyphen, an underscore. Those are, it's going to be different, but essentially it's going to be the same because it's going to show up as your same first and last name or whatever your website name is. So just try to come up with some type of variation, but it's super important that your name is recognizable across all of your platforms. Keep the same profile picture and the same cover. This is very important. Not just keeping your same name, but your profile and your cover picture are one of the first times that a new follower is going to come in contact with you and really find out who you are. You know, building an online presence is not as natural as face-to-face home parties. It's so much more different. And if you want to make your brand relatable, you've got to get your photo in there. Your profile photo should be a picture of you. It should be you and only you. Not a stock photo, not a graphic. It should be you and your beautiful face, no one else. You know, it's even better if you can get that same picture for all of them. You know, sometimes you might have to do a little bit wiggling because it's a circle on Instagram and it's a square on Facebook. It might be a little bit different, but it should be consistent no matter what. It's going to help the person, the new reader, the new follower. It's going to let you know that you're the same person because you're using the same image. And that's going to extend through all of the content for your brand. You really need to showcase yourself. Showcase who you are. You know, rock those leggings and dresses. You know, it's important that your customers see the real you. It's just another layer, another way to connect and build trust and relationships. And that's ultimately what's going to lead you to building a successful business. Keep the same cover photo. Now, this is kind of tricky because it's so easy to be creative on cover photos, but it has to stay consistent with your brand. You know, if you have a website, maybe you want to use the header that you use on your website. Or maybe you have a really nice logo. So you're going to use your logo on your Facebook cover, on your Twitter cover. Maybe you've decided you're going to work on LinkedIn. It needs to stay the same there. But it should always stay on brand with your style and brand board. Hands down. Consistent image content. Now this is going to kind of go with all of your social media. It's really like your design aesthetics need to be on all of your images. We covered this just a little bit earlier, but I want you to understand that when you're sharing content, like there's one that goes around all the time that says like Hot Mess Express or something like that, but it's a really like cool graphic. Somebody else made it. It's not your colors, not the font, it's not the style. It's not a trademark thing. Anyone can say it. You need to put it onto your own social media template, using your own colors, using your own style guide. Those are how you need to keep your image content consistent. So if your colors are teal, black, and pink, then all of your graphics are going to be teal, black, and pink. They're not going to be yellow and purple. So that's very important. You know, a couple of questions I had was like, what about Instagram? Instagram's so weird. Do I need a pattern? And it's not really as much about posting like a pattern, like flat lay quote, flat lay quote. The most important aspect of Instagram is that your content is visually appealing. So you can still do a pattern. I do a pattern on my Instagram and I love it. I love the clean, minimalist look. But I'm also going to use the same filters, the same type of content. So if my brand is all about being a hot mess mama, then I'm not going to put something on my Instagram that says, I got all my ish together, I meal prep today, because that's not consistent. The same type of content, the same type of branding, the same style needs to be across the board. Recycling your content is a great way to create that consistency, and it helps you, not have as much extra work, but you have to make sure you're not being spammy with that content. So a good rule to follow is after 6 months, go ahead and share it, but make sure it's relevant. So if it was something about pumpkins, you're not going to share that in May because that makes no sense whatsoever. And only share content that has created engagement prior. If it didn't create engagement, you're going to waste your time. There's no reason to post it again. Post consistently. This is a biggie. Now, we've talked about how to get people to find you on social media and how to brand that part of your social media, but how do you really ultimately get them to stick around? You have to be active. The key to attracting people, building a reputation, gaining followers, growing your community, generating sales is being active. Posting consistently relates to growth. Growth relates to sales. Plain as day. So to start off, to know a definition of what I'm saying for active in terms of posting is, you're on Facebook, you're posting 2 to 3 times a day. You're on Twitter 5 to 10 times a day. If you're on LinkedIn, 1 time a day. Google Plus, 1 to 2 times a day. If you're on Pinterest, you should be pinning 50 to 100 times. You're on Instagram, 1 to 2 times a day. Those are just your starting point. Just the starting point. It seems overwhelming, but also remember, you're not going to be on every single one of those platforms. You're only going to be on the ones where your ideal clients are. That's your focus. And if you want to make yourself even more visible, you're going to create a schedule to post content that's specific to you and your audience. You're going to forget the general times of people saying, oh, you should probably post in the morning before people go to work, and maybe you should post around dinner time. That makes no sense whatsoever, because your audience is probably not on at those times. And the only reason to post content is to make sure your readers are going to see it. That's it. So one of the questions on the form, Abby said, how can I prioritize, oh my gosh, how can I prioritize, oh my gosh again, how can I prioritize, how can I do my time on social media since I cannot be there 24/7? How do I split my time? Where do I focus? It's a blur. So that's actually one of the questions I get asked the most. And it really comes back to, what is your aim? And who are you talking to? Because if you have narrowed those down, the answers will be 100 times more clear. Because I cannot tell you right now how to do that, because I don't know your business, I don't know your clients, and it's specific to each one of you. But you should definitely not be on social media 24/7 because you're going to go crazy. You need to batch your content. You need to schedule it. You need to be smart about it. Creating content needs to be shared across all of your platforms. You don't need to be everywhere, just 2 to 3. And focus on what your goal and your objectives are. Now, so we're on social media for lots of different reasons, but you're not just there to post content. Social media is social. That's the point of it. So many friendships come across because you meet them virtually. I only met Carly because of Facebook. Facebook put us together. Facebook is going to put you and so many other people together. But you're only going to be able to build those relationships if you interact with the people, your followers, your people in your group, everyone. So this is what I want you to aim for every day. And just remember, this is a starting point, okay? Every day, I want you to have conversations with people on Twitter. If that's where your ideal clients are, talk to people on Twitter, retweet them, like them, comment, have a conversation. If you like Pinterest, you should be going onto blogs and posting comments and sharing love. Take part in discussions in Facebook groups. And the big point about Facebook groups, you have to take part in discussions other than your, that is super important. Other than your own group. Your own group is like your own little island. How are you going to expand if those are the only people that you're building a relationship with? On Instagram, you should be liking and commenting on photos. Use your hashtags as a source to find out of the profiles that you want to comment on. And you really should be doing this at least once a day. If you are active, you're consistent, people are going to start noticing, and it's really simple as that to build relationships on social media. Step 7, use your analytics. How many of you guys have actually looked at your analytics? How many? It's really like, probably I say, what have your analytics said? And somebody's like, oh, I don't know. I don't even know how to get there. If you haven't taken a peek of your analytics, whether it be on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, they all have analytics. You are doing your business an injustice. You are not going to grow. Now, the only way you're going to be able to see your analytics is if you have a business account. So if you don't have a business Instagram, you're not going to be able to see your insights or what's performing well. Same with LinkedIn, same with Twitter. You have to have a business account in order to take advantage of those, okay? So I'm going to go over Facebook first, because a lot of you guys are going to run your business based off of Facebook. So I think this is a good starting point for you guys. So in this picture, you're going to see just a snapshot of my business page. And I have it highlighted where it says Insight. So if you're not familiar, if you go to your Facebook page, you're going to see the little taskbar at the top right here. And what I want you to do is to click Insights. That's going to bring up the whole back end part of your Facebook page. Now, once you click Insights, this is what you're going to see. And you're going to be like, oh my gosh, what do all of these numbers mean? And really, you don't have to be a social media manager to kind of get to the basics of this. You're going to find a bunch of goodies, like if you've been running ads, it's going to show you that. If you click likes, you're going to see who's been liking your page. The reach is really going to say how many people has seen your Facebook page in the last 7 to 28 days. And it goes further and further down. What I want to kind of stress to you are 3 key areas when you go to your insights. You want to find out the time of the day to post your content. You want to find out the day of the week to post the content and the type of content that you should be posting. So in order to find the time of the day to post, what you're going to do is you're just going to click on this post tab, and it's going to bring up, I think I put it on the next page. Maybe, nope. Well, it's going to bring up another page, and it's going to tell you exactly when they are online again. And if it's not super clear, because I thought I put another screenshot on here, feel free to reach out to me and I can kind of walk you through that, even if I need to screen share with you, just how to get that. But it's going to give you a bunch of graphs. You're going to hover your mouse over it. It's going to tell you when you are online, when your audience is online. So, for instance, my audience is online almost every day of the week at around 8 p.m. and also around lunchtime. So that's when I'm going to post, because I'm more likely going to reach somebody around those times. Your times are going to be slightly different, probably majorly different, but that's what you need to find out, is the time of the day to post. On that same tab where it says post, when you click there, it's going to tell you day by day what days are the better days. It's going to tell you what your reach is for those days. If you have a lot of engagement, a lot of people online on Tuesdays, but not a lot of people on Fridays. Maybe you should post 4 times on Tuesdays and 2 times on Fridays. So you really need to kind of work that into your social media strategy. Now, the type of content that you want to post is going to be listed on the post tab, which is right here. Now, this is going to kind of give you a layout on what to post, whether it be video, whether it be a link, an image only, an image with caption. It's going to just kind of lay it all out. It will also tell you what your most popular, the posts that have had the most impressions. Really look at what's done well for you and replicate that. That's the type of content that you need to be posting. If it's not doing anything for you, don't post any more of that. If links aren't working, don't post any more links. You have to be creative in order to really utilize your analytics and build the business that way. So my top 5 tools in order to help you grow your business. So social media schedulers. Batch your content and use a scheduler to post it into your groups, your pages. You can post the same content in all of them at the same time. So that way you're spending 2 minutes posting to 5 different places versus spending 15 minutes and posting them individually. My favorite tool is Buffer, but there's lots of other ones like Hootsuite, Postcron. There's free and paid plans. So it's really just kind of based on your preference. Photo editors, we talked about this earlier, Canva or PicMonkey, those would be my top 2 choices for you to create the templates and easily replicate them going forward. So it's basically plugging your template in, changing the words, saving, and do the next one. I can easily probably in 10 minutes, get out 10 graphics. Easily, as long as I know what I'm going to write, which sometimes I don't, but as long as I know what I'm going to write, easily, it's quick. Use those templates. You don't always make the same different graphic all the time. Email marketing platform. I am going to bet that the majority of you guys are running your business on social media only. And if you are, you really need to think about changing that strategy. Facebook is not always going to be beneficial for you. Instagram's not always going to be beneficial. Not everyone's going to see your content. The algorithms are always changing. It's constant, it's frequent. And the more you stay in contact with your customers, the more likely you're going to generate more sales. And having an email marketing strategy so that you're sending newsletters or sending updates because you're getting new inventory or whatever it is going to help you create all of those touch points to lead to another sale. Pinterest, I talked about this earlier. It's the #1 referrer for website traffic. Most people will go to Pinterest and they will use it like Google. If you're not pinning from your website to Pinterest, or from your Facebook page to Pinterest, but linking back to your website, you're missing out on a ton of traffic. And Pinterest is a time suck because you can just get sucked in because of all of the fantastic tips that are out there. Schedule the content, use something like Board Booster or Tailwind to really schedule it and forget about it. So Bitly. We all use your URLs that are just too long, too ugly, and Bitly is going to shorten them for you. They're going to make your links more attractive. And if you create a account with them, you can track each link to see where people are mostly finding you from. So if you have your party site link, you can create like 5 different links. So each link is different. One link you're going to put on Facebook, one link you'll put on Instagram, one link you'll put on Twitter or whatever it is. And at the end of the month, go to Bitly and see where is everyone finding your party site from. Are they clicking the link on Facebook or are they clicking the link on Instagram? That's going to really help you keep refining your marketing strategy so that you can focus on what is really gaining the most traction. So this is my bonus. Linktree. I've shared this with just a few clients this week because I had to try it out myself, and I think, you know, a lot of other people have done it themselves, but Linktree is fantastic for Instagram. Instagram gives you one link option, and you have to be like strategic. Where do you want to send these people that are going to click on your link? Linktree allows you to put all of your links on their app. So as soon as they click the link on your Instagram, they're going to be brought to another page, and they can choose to stalk you on your website, stalk you on your Facebook group, your Facebook page, join your Facebook group, become, get on your VIP email list, whatever it is. Linktree is a definite must if you're going to really be utilizing Instagram to generate sales. So these are just a few tweaks that I have for you this week. So we've gone through a lot of stuff, and it's probably overwhelming. It's a lot of different things to do. But these are some little tweaks that I want you to make this week to make your brand stand out, which ultimately means you're going to stay on top of your dream customers' minds. You are going to have an impeccable, stunning visual brand, and you're going to be profitable, which I think we all want. So these are just the top 5 that you should make this week. And tomorrow you'll receive the full document in your inbox as long as I have your email address. So I'm going to quickly go over these for you. Create a tagline that makes sense, but it's still going to show your personality. Create something that makes sense, that it's memorable. I always use the same hashtag, raising babies and businesses. That is my hashtag. I have shirts made with it. It is my hashtag. It is part of my brand. That makes sense to me. It's not going to make sense to you. You have to find out what makes sense to you and brand it. Create social media templates. We've already talked about this. You're not a graphics pro. That's okay. Canva and PicMonkey are your friend. If you need specific tips, reach out. I will help you. Use relevant hashtags on Instagram. Oh my gosh, this is so important. A hashtag should have less than 600, what more? It should have less than 600,000 posts, but more than 100,000 posts. There is a sweet spot. If you do not research your hashtags, nothing is going to be seen. It's not going to be found. If you're posting hashtag mom life, it's not going to be seen because there's 3 million hashtag mom lives. It goes too fast. Use relevant hashtags. It changes constantly. You'll have to research it every month. Ooh, did I go over all of them? Oh, and get relatable. Oh, I missed it. People buy from people that they like and that they know. So if you have your wall up, take it down. No one is going to relate to you. Be realistic. Be relatable. So this next slide, questions. So I'll take your questions in just a minute, but I did want to go over just a couple that like 5 people asked on the Google document. And that is a big one. Facebook page versus Facebook group, right? Can anyone relate to that? What's the difference? Why do I need both? Let me tell you, okay? Should you have one over the other? Nope. Should you have a Facebook page and not a Facebook group? Nope. Should you have a Facebook group and not a Facebook page? My answer is no. You should have both. You should put just as much time on your Facebook page as your Facebook group. Who has ever seen a business in 2017 that does not have a Facebook page? If they don't have a Facebook page, you are probably thinking in the back of your mind, who is this business? It must be a scam. What's going on? Every business has a Facebook page. So I'm just going to go over a little bit of the pros on why you need a Facebook page, especially if you want to grow your business. Okay, if you have 200 likes right now, you want 12,000 likes. You want to be visible. Here's the ways that you're going to do it. A Facebook business page gives you those insights that we talked about. You have the ability to advertise your business, which is an incredible way to grow your list and to grow it fast. Now, let me also say, don't run tomorrow and make a Facebook ad and say, Amy told me to do it so I can grow my page, so I'm going to do it, because that's not the correct way to do it. There is a certain way to run a Facebook ad if you're going to generate sales. You have to target the people that you're looking for. So when you're making a Facebook ad, it lets you make a custom audience. You are not going to, more than likely, you are not going to target maybe 60 to 80-year-olds. Those probably aren't your main demographic that you're looking at. You want to target, when you're doing an ad, the people that are on your page. Okay, maybe 30 to 40-year-olds, maybe people that live in North Dakota. Maybe you only want to target moms. Those are the type of things that you really have to focus on if you're going to have a successful Facebook ad and not just throw money away. A Facebook page builds trust. It builds your brand reputation. Facebook pages show up in Google searches. We all want to be found on Google, right? Your group is not going to be found on Google. Your Facebook page will be found on Google. And there's certain ways that you can make sure that it's found by using certain keywords, by using certain SEOs. People expect businesses to have a Facebook page. It's very simple. It's just an expectation. And also with all of the changes, you know, some of the people say, well, I don't want to have a Facebook page. Nobody sees it. It is true. I mean, Facebook changes its algorithm. Like, I'm a social media manager, and I still don't know what Facebook algorithms are all the time. And Mark Zuckerberg doesn't even know what his Facebook algorithm is. It's some major computer that's decided what it wants to do, okay? It can be hard to get your content seen. But you also need that ability to be found on Google so that you can link them to whatever party site or Facebook group that you're looking at building. Okay, you know, another con of a Facebook page is you don't have that ability to chat with your Facebook fans unless they initiate it on a post. Okay, so those are just a little bit of reasons why, you know, a Facebook page is really important. You know, a group is just as important because you're building a community. You're getting higher engagement levels. You're going to build a deeper communication within your group. Your group versus your Facebook page, your group is going to let you see who's in your group and really find out exactly who's attracted to you and really use that as a basis for your demographic. You get that VIP feel that you give your customers in a group. And the major advantage of a group is that in terms of visibility, unless somebody has like their notifications turned off, a group post is going to have a higher probability of showing up in a member's newsfeed versus just a regular Facebook page post. So those are the key key points about that. And one of the main ways that, you know, people are asking, how do I use the Facebook page and the Facebook page to build engagement and generate sales? Because ultimately, across the board, you want to be profitable, you want to be successful, you want to have sales, you want to have a great year, you want to be green on your ledger, not red. So you really have to turn those likes into purchases. So one of the questions I got was, why are my group members not buying? How do I turn my likes into purchases on Instagram? Which are great questions, but I really want, there's no like one size fits all type of question. It's not like a check mark type of question there. What I really need you to think about is, what are you personally doing to facilitate those sales? What are you personally doing to build engagement? So if you're not posting in your group or your page or anywhere, if you're not posting with goals and objectives, you're not going to really generate anything. Are you just posting links to your party site? Are you just posting, hey, this is what I did tonight? Or are you just posting those drop an emoji type things. If that's really all you're doing in your group, you're building your group wrong, because the point of your group is to give that VIP feel and to really engage with people. So, and to provide that business growth and the creation of a community. So if you want more sales, these are my suggestions for you. You need to genuinely comment on every post. Be genuine. Don't leave some emoji happy face or say, yep. You need to be genuine. Think about it. Take a minute and really digest what this person is telling you. Thank every single person that purchased from you in the group. So you can thank them in the group. You can send them maybe a personal handwritten note. Of course, you can't do that for everyone. But if you did that every so often, imagine how that person is going to feel when they receive that. So don't just send it when they've purchased and you've shipped their leggings. Send it maybe 2 weeks later saying, I really appreciate your purchase. I really hope that these birthday cake leggings will look super great at your son's second birthday. You're going to rock your Oakley dress. Be personal. Use that extra information to really personalize the experience in the group and outside the group. Speak to your group members and your followers as if they're your best friend. This goes back to what we talked about earlier, using your brand voice. Speak like who you are and what you value, and treat them like your best friend. And don't expect anything from them. When you're posting in your group, don't expect just because you got new inventory that they're gonna buy from you. Don't expect something from you, because as soon as you stop expecting, they're gonna deliver, because they want to feel valued just like every single other person. Create that community and give them a reason to engage with you. Give them a reason more than just a shop credit or to enter into a raffle. Give them something more. Humans are naturally egocentric. Encourage them to talk about themselves. That is how you're really going to be genuine and find out what your audience wants and who they are. The more you learn about a person, it's true, the more you love them. And that is essential on a virtual business, on Facebook, anywhere. So another one of my questions that somebody sent me was, should I delete my inactive members and in your Facebook group? And this seems to be like a really hot topic lately. Everyone seems to think that if you delete your inactive members, your engagement will grow or spike or whatever. And truthfully, it's just crazy. Okay, I don't understand why you would want to delete any member at all. Okay, maybe if they're rude or they're just not your type of person, or who you're trying to relate to, or they're not following like the expectations or rules that you've put forth in your group. But the bottom line is, when they became a member of your group, it's because they did it for a reason. Whether it be they want to follow your inventory, or they really just like you. Maybe it's a family member, a third cousin, but they really want to support you. They joined your group for a reason. If they're inactive, I really want you to look at the possible reasons why they're inactive, because there's many reasons. And when you decide what those reasons possibly could be, I want you to create a solution for each reason. So a main way to, like, some people might be inactive just because they're unfollowing it, so they don't check in on your group every single time because they don't want to, spend $100 every time they're there. So maybe it's budget-wise, but I want you to give them a way, or create a way to re-engage with those inactive members, and then create an engagement plan. So some examples to create a re-engagement plan would be: give them a shout out in the group, post on their timeline, send them a happy birthday message if you know that's their birthday, send them a personal message. Hey, I know I haven't seen you in the group lately. Just kind of want to check in on you. Go stalk them on Facebook. They're going to share almost their entire lives on Facebook. Write them a postcard. You really have to kind of learn why they are not engaging at that time. So I think I covered most of everything. So I guess if y'all have any additional questions, I can kind of look through, or Carly or someone if they wanted to unmute.
One of the questions that I got was, is there a recommended platform for an email campaign?
Okay, great question. MailChimp is one of the better email platform campaigns. MailChimp also has a free level, so that is also a really good starting point if you are new, if your list, your emails are under 2,000. I would start with MailChimp. It's going to give you the basic capabilities. It's going to allow you to send email campaigns. It's going to allow you to stay engaged, send replies, things like that. If you're looking to build your business and possibly create sales funnels and thank you messages and different automation sequences, then MailChimp might not be the best solution for you. But if you have more questions about that, I feel free to email me or message me separately on Facebook or whatever, and I can kind of talk you through what I think would be the best solution depending on what your business is.
The next question, are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you need to have your business page active for a certain amount of time before you can take the analytics serious?
If it's a brand new page, obviously you're not going to have credible results. I would say after 1 month, I would look at it. After 2 months, I would look at it. I would look at it every single month. It doesn't really matter when you started your Facebook page. You should always be checking your analytics. They're always going to change, and Facebook's going to give you a good idea, even if it's new, when people are active on your Facebook page. It might not be impressive if it's only a month old and you only have like maybe 10 likes. You might not get a lot of information then, but if your page is a month old and you have close to 400 people, you're going to get a lot of information that you need.
Okay. The next one is, should you go live? Is there a benefit to going live on your business page or creating videos for Instagram versus going live in your group? Like, okay, what's going to gain the best with the effort?
Video is by far on Facebook, the number one priority. If you could go live on your Facebook business page at least once a week, Facebook would love you. Facebook algorithm right now currently is favoring video over any other form of content on Facebook. But it also kind of depends on what your analytics are saying. If nobody is reacting to your videos, then maybe videos aren't going to work for you. But in general, as a whole, Facebook Live is your friend. Only go on Facebook Live if you know your audience is going to be there. So if you know your audience is going to be on at 9 p.m., please don't go live at 8 a.m. because no one's going to watch you. Go live when they're there. That's how you build the relationship. Get them to talk to you. Facebook Live, yes, do it. I promise you it will be beneficial. If no Facebook Live, because it is kind of nerve-wracking. What do I talk about?
Guys, we're currently working on this right now.
Yes, it might currently be an issue, but video, second best. Do a video. Even if it's like a slideshow video, it's still a video. If Facebook loves videos, do it. There isn't a lot of big research that I've read about videos on Instagram, like with the Insta stories and things like that. I would say if it's not hurting you, it's going to benefit you. So if you have the chance to snap some Insta stories, do it. Or create those pictures that you've already posted on your Instagram feed into a video. Definitely do it. Video all the way, unless you you just can't. And then
So,
I'd still say do it.
what do you think about, because we have a lot of really busy ladies in our company that work full-time jobs. I mean, that's your thing, you know,
Yeah.
mom, kids, not a lot of time. Do you think that there's any downfall to posting the same content in your business page that you're posting in your Facebook group that you're posting? Like, can you create one piece of content and post it across all your social media platforms?
I think the best way to do content is to, so like Facebook page, it should be consistent. Facebook page, Instagram page, and Twitter page, all of that content should be different. When it comes to your Facebook group, that's where you need to think, is this going to be beneficial to my group members? What am I giving them? What value am I giving them? You should already be thinking those, but because you're building an engagement community, your group is going to be a lot different. You should be using a different language. You should be asking more of them because you want more of them. You want them to give you more information besides just the emoji high five or whatever it is. You want more. So I wouldn't suggest doing the same content on your Facebook group as your Facebook page unless you can create a way to build more engagement, to ask more of a specific question.
Okay, so I mean, making one graphic and posting it on all the platforms
Yes.
in a posting scheduler is not really going to benefit you anyway. You recommend putting in the extra time to make it different.
Yeah, for the Facebook group and Facebook page, but across all of your platforms, it's going to benefit you to batch your content and do the same graphic on Monday for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. And then just real basic, like how do you get likes and follows? Do you just recommend, I mean, obviously consistency, but would you recommend doing campaigns or the boosting of posts to get?
Okay, so if you're on Facebook, since Facebook is different than Instagram, if you're on Facebook, getting an organic reach is a little bit different. So you should always be trying to get the likes, organic likes, primarily by staying in contact with your Facebook group. I know a lot of people also friend their Facebook group members. You should also, when you friend somebody, invite them to like your Facebook page. You can definitely run a page-like campaign in your ads manager, but if you're going to do that, you need to create a custom audience so that it's geared to only the people, you're only attracting the people that you want to attract. Don't attract Joe Schmo that lives down the block just because, it's a like. You want quality likes, not a ton of people that are just, not interested.
Gotcha.
If on Instagram, though, it's a little bit different. I use those hashtags, follow people, comment on people, like people. It's a little bit more time, takes more time to do it on Instagram, but Instagram gives you way more it gives you a bigger organic reach versus Facebook.
Gotcha. There's two more questions and they're not Facebook oriented.
Okay.
You just said hashtags. What is the best way and the most, what is the best way to search hashtags?
Okay.
Like to get real information, not just bogus, blogger information or whatever.
Okay. The best way to search to find a relevant hashtag is on Instagram. They have the little search bar, so you know how you can you can search for a person or you can search for a tag. Start with a tag that you're currently using. So maybe you want to start with hashtag mom life. So when you pull it up, it's going to give you all of the information about hashtag mom life. And when you get there, it's at the very top, it's going to say the other suggested hashtags. When you see that, that's when you go through, click it, find out how many posts they have. That one has too many. Go back, do it again. So that's one way to find relevant hashtags to really make sure that it's staying in that sweet spot. The other way is if there is a really popular maybe blogger or Instagram influencer that is very similar to who you are reaching, okay? So take @thriftydecorchick.com. So this is an Instagram user. She has 20,000 likes, and who she's attracting is similar to who you're attracting. Go to her page, look at what hashtags she's using, search those hashtags, and see if they will work. So those are two different ways to do it. It takes work. There's no like generator that's going to pop it out for you. You have to just put in the work. Every month, every 2 months, every 3 months, go back through your list and see if they're still relevant. Put those hashtags on a notepad in your phone and copy and paste to the first comment, not in your actual post.
Okay, so the HashMe app and all of that it's not about how many hashtags you have, but about having the most relevant ones to the mission of the post.
Yes.
So, okay, and then the last question I have, if you guys have any other ones, type them in, is do you recommend any specific programs or apps? We do have a lot of reps who are creating content at work or maybe while rocking a baby and they can't be sitting at a computer all day. So what do you have any resolutions for, what do you think?
To like create the content on your phone, like mobily?
Yes, like what is a good on phone content creator? And then we all know about PicMonkey on the computer.
Yeah, I would, if you are creating content, if you are creating social media content, use the social media scheduler app. So I use Buffer. Buffer is my favorite way to create content and to schedule content. If I'm on my phone, because I'm at a baseball game, or I'm at practice or whatever it is, I can go onto the Buffer app, write out the content of the post that I want to write, attach the picture, schedule the picture. You can do that for Hootsuite. Almost all of the big ones are gonna have a phone app. So if you're doing social media content, I would start there. If you are doing other content, I would suggest using the plain old notepad on your phone or a Google Doc. Get the Google Doc app on your phone and just plug it all in there. Then it's easily transferable to your computer or when you're at your computer so that you can fine tune it or create it, like redraft it, revise it. So those are the two things that I would definitely suggest. There's no reason to be fancy, guys. It's all about getting the job done.
Okay, and then there's two other questions that just popped up. They're both in reference to sales. I'll just tell you both questions because I feel like you can tie them both together. What is your opinion on changing our Facebook group names to alert people of sales? Do you recommend any other method to create attraction to pop-ups and stuff? And do you think that it's a good idea to sell on your live on your Facebook page?
Okay. As far as changing the group name, I would not do it. I think it teeters on the fine line of being too spammy. If you're just doing it to get in somebody's notifications, maybe it will work sometimes, but I don't think it's going to work all the time. And eventually that person is going to say, I'm done. Like, I don't want to keep getting these notifications just because they're doing a pop-up today. There's another multi-level marketing business that I do a lot of work for, and they do groups as well. And they absolutely never do changing the name because you don't want somebody just to come in. If your group is all about sales, just sales, maybe that's going to be a good strategy for you. But if your group is about building relationships, building a community, building trust, you're not going to get on that spam line. If you need to tell people about a new pop-up that's coming up, there are many other ways to do it. Use all of your social media platforms. Use email marketing. Use your website. Create an ad. Personally let people know what's going on. Those are all different ways. I think the most important aspect of that is to be creative and don't just do it just because you know that it's going to pop up in somebody's notifications. Because in the long run, it's not going to work. It's not a long-term solution. It's a short-term solution. And are you in this business for short-term, just until the end of the quarter, or are you trying to make this a long-term business? Those are the type of questions you need to ask yourself to make the right strategy decision.
Yeah. So it's the difference of wanting that sale at least once or trying to create a consistent buyer in your group. It's how much are you willing to put other people out? And then the other question was, what are your recommendations on doing Facebook Live sales in your business page? And if somebody decides to do that, how do you get the most exposure to something like that?
Okay, so I've seen a lot of successful Facebook Live sales. Because I know I've also seen a lot of, successful Periscope sales. The key to being successful is to create a plan. So you're not going to show your whole inventory because that's going to take forever and nobody's going to wait around for it. Have a plan, stick with your plan, have a timer, know what you're going to do, what you're going to say, stick to it. Create the buzz before you go live to do your sale. So if you want to do your sale May 15th, you're going to have a marketing strategy leading from today to May 15th. That means you are breadcrumbing the post. You are letting people know what's going on. You are letting them add it to their calendar. You are sending them a newsletter. You are being proactive and not just relying on Facebook pushing the notification. Oh, Carly's going live on her Facebook page. Make sure you go over there. You are working your marketing strategy. You're not letting Facebook do it for you. You are in control. You have to really plan it. If you just do something spontaneous, it's not going to be successful. We should all know this. Like, it's just not going to happen. Or it's the luck of the draw if you are successful. You have to have a plan, you have to have a goal, and stick with it. But all of those ways to create buzz, create an ad if you'd like. Let people know, create an online invitation, ask people to invite other people. Maybe you want to do a raffle that way so that you can get people on live and extend the sale after the live. So maybe they're watching the replay. How can they still be involved on the replay and make that known?
Gotcha. So it's all about having a plan and not just, I didn't do this sale, so I'm going to hop on Facebook Live and look what works out there, but actually be intentional about everything that you're doing and having a game plan to build that excitement and whatnot.
Exactly. And that's your social media strategy in a nutshell. Be consistent, have a plan, be intentional. Don't just fly by the seat of your pants because it's not going to be successful.
Do you know if Facebook Lives get do Facebook Lives in your group play into your, I know algorithm is a hot word, but do Facebook Lives make a difference? Like, are you going to gain more of a benefit from your page versus your group?
There's not. You've asked. We've kind of had this conversation before, and I did a lot of it, a great deal of research on it because I haven't heard something one way or another. And what kind of makes me think that it's not going to really have too much of an effect if you go Facebook Live is I don't think it's going to positively or negatively affect you because your Facebook group page is not tied to your Facebook business page. There's no link between there. Your Facebook group is tied to your personal page. So that's the big difference there, and that's the reason why I don't think it's going to negatively hurt you or positively benefit you.
So
I wouldn't say don't do it. I would still say do it because it's how you're going to help build engagement and people are going to learn more about you. but I don't think it's going to be negative or positive.
Awesome. Okay, so, and then this was the final question. Do you think that, and if you guys have any other questions, type them in here and Amy will answer them, but just not to draw it out. Do you think that your interaction on your personal Facebook page has anything to do with your algorithm? I'm like air quoting algorithm for the rest of my life. Algorithm in your group, since they are tied in together. If you are not active in your personal page, will it affect you in any way in your group?
It is, your Facebook personal page is tied to your Facebook business page in the fact that you as a person created that page, not in the fact that it's affecting your personal data. So there is a connection, there is a data connection, because there has to be, but that what you do on your Facebook business personal page is not going to affect your Facebook group page. However, if you are not active on your Facebook personal page and you are not engaging on your Facebook personal page, your friends, your followers, whoever's on your personal page isn't going to see your quote. So if I'm on my Facebook personal page, and earlier today I actually did write the status, guess how many cups of coffee I had today, and I had, I don't know how many comments because I didn't really check, but I had people comment. If I just ignore those comments, it's going to be less likely that those people are going to see the post that I make tomorrow. The more you interact on those posts, same with your, all of the other groups, the more you interact on your personal page, the more those people are going to also see your post in the future. I personally, I run a lot of my business on Facebook and on social media, and I use the friend list, and I'm sure that everyone else knows what the friend list is. So if you're accepting friends that are in your groups, you want them to be friends, but you don't want them to see all of your personal information. You add them to a list. Maybe your list is going to be titled Group Friends. So when you make a post, you only post to that group. So it really helps you use your personal page in a business aspect, but do not run your business on your personal page. Facebook will shut you down. So.
Okay. So be active on your personal page.
Yeah. Be active on all of your social media.
Okay. If there's any other questions, then you guys can email them or that Google form. Amy, how long are you going to leave that Google form up for?
I'm not going to delete it, so I'll just check it a couple times this week and go through, and I can reach out to that person, either Facebook message, or I can just send them an email and kind of go over it.
Cool. Very cool.
This has been such amazing I feel like I just got fed a wealth of knowledge and took tons of notes and have a game plan of kind of some things I need to work on. So I really appreciate you being on the call today.
Not a problem. I hope that a lot of people got, a lot of valuable tidbits and things that they can take away and move forward, because I do want you guys all to be successful. And I am definitely here if you have any further questions. And I will be sending the 32 tweaks out tomorrow morning. So if anyone else needs that didn't add their email, they can definitely do that tonight.
So fill out the Google form with their email address.
Yes.
And I will put them on the mailing list for that.
Yes.
Are you going to be reviewing the emails that were dropped in here?
Well, I'll add them all to the list tonight. Yep.
Okay. So you guys, you can either put your email in here, or you could do the Google form, and that'll add you in to receive that content tomorrow.
And I just want to thank you guys for dealing with my crazy, slurring words. Just got too excited. It was bursting out of the seams. So, thank you again for having me. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming. Thank you for your time.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Bye, guys.